15 minutes.
Go ahead.
Okay, today our
No.
topic.
Andre, talk to Andre.
Today our topic of discussion is going to be depository institutions. Now, I just want to ask a general question. What is a depository institution? Can anyone answer that question? Go
I
ahead.
don't know where you put your money.
Where you put your money? Can you be a little more explicit than that?
A bank.
A bank, perfect.
Depository.
Perfect example of a depository institution.
It's where you put used up senile seniors.
Yes, that's true.
No, that's a
That's true.
suppository institution.
Barclay, go take him in the hallway, smack him around a little bit. Yeah, well, the perfect example is a bank. And just to give you, the way we're going to break up the presentation today is I'm just going to kind of go through the general, what is a depository institution, what sort of transactions are they involved in, and then, how is money moved in and out of a depository institution. Then Barclay's going to take over. He's going to talk about the types of services that are provided by depository institutions, and that'll pretty much wrap it up. First thing I want to start off with is a little game that helps get started. Real quickly, a little mind teaser. The directions of this game are the H's represent the humans, the C's represent cannibals. The goal of the game is, this is a river right here, the goal is to try to get the 3 humans across the river without the cannibals ever outnumbering the humans. Because once they outnumber the humans, the cannibals eat the humans. And you can fit 2 people on a boat that goes across, and somebody has to drive the boat back. So Chuck, you're going to try to solve the puzzle. So only give one person a chance to try to solve it.
Alright.
Just because we have time constraints.
Sure.
And once you get it wrong, you're wrong. I'm sure.
3 H's are humans, 3 C's are cannibals. I
Yes.
gotta get all 3 of those H's across the boat. Across the river on the boat.
Right. Fitting 2 people in a boat at a time. Cannibals can never.
Then I take the first 2, put them in the boat and go.
These 2? Right?
Yeah.
These 2 go over. Alright.
Cannibal would bring, no, the human would bring the boat back over.
Alright, so the human comes back. So now you got cannibal on this side. And you got 3 and 2. Good. So what's your next step?
The next, 2 humans would go up.
2 humans go over. What happens on this side? 2 cannibals, 1 human.
No, they.
Chuck's dead.
No, the humans.
Story.
We have time constraints, but that's what happens. So basically, I'll just show you. You can bring this trick home with you. The way to do it is, Chuck was right. First step, you bring a human and a cannibal across. Human brings the boat back. So now you got 3 humans, 2 cannibals. Next step is 2 more cannibals go across. 1 cannibal brings the boat back. So now you got 3 humans, 1 cannibal. Next step, and here's the critical step. 2 humans go across, so now you got 2 and 2. You got 1 and 1 left here. Human and a cannibal both bring the boat back. So now you got 2 on this side, and 1 of each on this side. And then the 2 humans bring the boat across. The 2 cannibals left here stranded in that boat. You guys got that? There's a reason for that little game there, and that is it's kind of what a depository institution does on a daily basis. This is a problem. We can teach them. So we have co-instructors. If you look at the slide up here, what a depository institution does on a daily basis is you have money coming into the depository institution and money going out of the depository institution. And what they try to do is maximize those ins and outs so that the outs can never outnumber or outamount the ins, just like the cannibals can never outnumber the humans. But what you do is try to manage it as best you can, so you get the pot of gold in the middle, and they try to maximize and make as much money as they can with, managing the funds going in and out. So if you think of a depository institution as a big pool of funds, you obviously, who could think of either things that come into a bank or things that go out of a bank, like types of transactions? What happens at a bank? Money coming in, money coming out.
Checks. Going in.
Checks going in, so deposits.
Deposits.
Yes, personal deposits, personal checking account, savings account. Anyone else?
In or out?
In or out, either one. Loans. Loans, right, that's one of the outs. Banks make loans. I mean,
Interest payments,
interest payments out, like on a,
No, back in when they're.
With the loans.
Repaying the
Right.
loans.
that's, yeah, like part of the loans is with interest payments coming
So
in.
there would-
Interest coming in, okay.
Yes. Anyone else, just plain more, think about what a bank does.
Interest out.
Investments coming in on CDs or whatever?
Investments coming in, yeah, like CDs, money markets. Anyone else?
Savings.
Excuse me?
Savings.
Savings account, correct. So you guys are focusing on what we just captured in one name, and that's deposits. What else? Right, I mean, obviously the big things are the deposits and then the loans going out. But there's also some other things. Some other things, for instance, the other things that come in are equity. How do you start a bank? Just like any other business, there's a set of financial statements, and obviously the way to start a bank is to sell shares or somehow create an initial equity, and that's the initial pool of funds that come into the bank. So that's the other big one besides the other deposits that we talked about. And then the money that goes out of a bank outside of a loan is they also make some investments, just so they can go out and invest in mutual funds.
Okay, let's hear from Barclay.
Okay, so far Thomas just talked about the various types of cash flows in a bank, money coming in and money going out. What I'm going to talk about now is different types of services the bank provide. And this overhead here shows you the four main categories of services the bank provide. And what I'm going to do is talk through each one of these in turn and just talk about the specifics of each one of these headings here. Deposits, loans, transactions, and trust and other services. So we start off with deposits.
Hey, Barclay, before you get going, you might want to get rid of that flip chart.
So again, what I'd like to do is get a bit of audience participation here, and just say if you could just please name a few.
Rephrase that.
If I could get a few.
Rephrase it.
If you'd like to tell me some different types of deposit services.
Again. Remember your open-ended beginning. No, that doesn't work either.
What are?
What,
There you go.
Okay. What are some various types of different deposits, deposit services that banks have?
Direct deposit. Direct deposit.
Yeah.
Payroll.
Okay. Just like ordinary checking
Checking
accounts.
accounts,
Checking accounts, okay. Checking accounts is, yeah, probably the one that's the most common and the one that you're most familiar with.
Savings.
Savings accounts as well, yeah. Sure.
CDs?
Yeah, certificates of deposit as well. And one more is what? Money markets? Exactly, yeah. Those are the four main types of deposit services the bank provide. So we just got the deposit services now. We'll just move on to loan services as well. We're just going to walk through each of these four. We're just move on to loan services now. Again, if we get some example of different.
No, rephrase that.
I can't remember what it was the first time. What are some examples of loan services? Yeah.
Mortgages?
If we just, so I should maybe say, if we can split this between personal and corporate. So we start off with personal there. Mortgages are definitely one of the main ones there, yeah.
Auto loans.
Sure. Car loans, yeah. Sure.
Home equity?
Yeah.
Tax plans.
That was your. Yeah.
Credit cards.
Credit cards, exactly, yeah. Those are actually classified as loans as well. The bank is lending you money for a set period of time, even if it is just a loan.
Okay.
When you're taking credit.
Pump up your volume, Barclay. You're really fading out.
Okay. Yeah.
Letters of credit for a business.
Yeah, sure. mortgages, you tend to think of mortgages either the asset-backed securities on personal terms, but corporations as well can take out large loans, but they will again bank with their assets, which are very similar to mortgages as well. That'd be another type of corporate loan there. We'll just move on to the third one, transaction services. And I'll just run through the various types of transaction services briefly here. There's check clearing. When you write your checks and you give them to either a shop or to somebody else, if you're just writing somebody else a check, they'll pay them into their bank. And there's a whole sort of clearing system that goes on where the receiving bank takes the check away, it goes into a clearing house, and the funds transfer between the various banks and into your and they register coming out of one account and going to the other account. So that's one of the services that goes on. Also the ATM machines, when you go along to the hole and rolls and you're sticking your card in and you're getting the cash out, it's another service that they provide. Automatic fund transfer, where again, I find this new to, when I've been in the States, we don't have this back home, you can go to the ATM machines and you can do automatic transfer of your funds just through the ATM machines. Direct deposits as well, and direct payment services, like if you've got your various bills, if you're paying off your electricity, your gas bills, it's just coming out of your account direct at the end of each month. Foreign currency exchanges, if you're going in and swapping US dollars for another currency. So different types of transaction services. And the last is just the trust and other services. And these are just if you have your, say if you have your personal trusts, your investment plans, your 401ks, those different types of services. Now for each of these different types of services, the banks will earn income. This is basically how they, what we just looked at here is the types of services they provide. Now we're going to have a look at how they generate their revenues on those types of services. So if I could again just ask for examples of types of income.
Guess what? We don't have to ask you to do that one again.